Hi, everybody. Dr. Larry here, the author of Save Baseball, a prescription for the major leagues, here with you on the Save Baseball channel. So, there's a fun one for you. Let's talk a little bit about City Connect uniforms. Now, they've been around for about 3 years now, and a lot of teams are starting to transition to new ones. Why would they do that? Money. That's why. Because teams figure, hey, if you liked our City Connects for the last couple of years, you probably have bought a jersey, you know, maybe you bought some gear, and now we're going to recycle, reboot, reimage, and bring back yet another uniform that you can buy from us. So that's why they're doing it. It's interesting about the City Connect uniforms because I think they're polarizing. So if you ask baseball fans, especially those older like me, in my age bracket, if you will, some probably don't like them, and some probably do. There's probably not too many baseball fans that feel somewhere in the middle. Take it or leave it. At least not the ones I talk to. They're like, yeah, I like them, I like the idea of it, or I don't. Now, in terms of the actual uniforms themselves, boy, they're really different. Uh, my opinion, overall, I'm not crazy about them, but I know why Major League Baseball, at least I'm hoping why have done it, and that is to attract younger fans. Great idea. If you know anything about my book, and if you've been paying attention to the videos here since, about 6 months ago, since we started the channel, you know that I want baseball to be successful. And how we are going to do that is bringing younger fans into the game. One way to do that is making some marketing choices that might appeal to them, and this is one right here. So I'm for it 100% in that regard. So I got to put the traditionalist and the old guy hat on the shelf and embrace it because it's here. And I think the players like it too. But it's definitely a polarizing conversation. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk about a few of the new ones that have come out. Maybe you aren't aware of them because it's kind of new news, but let's chat them up. And I'm going to do a couple of things here. So I am going to ask your thoughts on them, of course, and then I'm going to give a letter grade and give you my opinion on what I think of the uniforms. So I would be curious as to what the data says on the impact of having City Connect uniforms. So what do I mean by that? Has it translated into attracting more fans and younger fans to baseball? So if you know that data, share it with me and I'll try to see if I can chase it down as well. But it just came to mind, is it working? And to what degree? So again, your thoughts really important. So I'm going to talk about a few teams: the Astros, the Nationals, the Giants, the Rockies, the White Sox, and the Marlins. There are a couple more teams that are launching new uniforms. We'll talk about those at a later time. Interestingly, thus far, the Athletics and the Yankees do not have City Connect uniforms. All right, so here we go. Hey, I'm not Mr. Blackwell, but I know what I like and what I don't like. I haven't studied these uniforms much. It wasn't like I, went through and combed through them and got my thoughts together. I'm just going to kind of swing from the heels here, and let's see what we got. First impressions and a letter grade. All right. First of all, the Houston Astros. That's what you see behind me here. The ones before, you might recall, said Space City, and obviously because of Houston and its notoriety with NASA. And these are different. And my initial reaction is I like them. I think they're clean. I think that kind of this Astros logo kind of reminds me of at least the script here of something maybe out of the late 60s. I kind of think that's cool. And I also know one thing for certain because I went to an Astros game in Houston last year. An amazing ballpark, by the way. Unbelievable ballpark. Most of the fans there are geared up, and a lot of them were wearing the City Connect uniforms that said Space City. So I'm curious as to how this is going to land with them. I give this an A minus. I like these uniforms. All right, what else do we have? Let's see here. Well, we've got the Giants blocking Matt Chapman here. The Giant uniforms, at first glance, well, they're better than the ones they had before. Kind of had the cityscape, very light orange, um, hard to read, very plain, bland. This kind of almost looks like their typical uniform. So they almost swung back the other way, right? And said, let's do something that is City Connect, but kind of stay, with the allegiance of a typical uniform. I give it a B plus. It's not bad. I think it looks pretty clean. What else do we have here? Ooh, the Rockies. Let's see if we can find them on here. Um, this is awful. These are absolutely terrible. I liked the Rockies' previous City Connect uniforms. The one you might remember, they were green. If you know much about Colorado and you've seen license plates from Colorado, that's the license plate, the previous one, the green. I like that. I thought that looked pretty cool. These, I don't even know where to begin. This looks awful. So I'm going to give them a D on these. Fans, you might love them. Let me know. Let me know your thoughts on these. All right. Miami, one of my favorite cities. I love Miami. In fact, I was there earlier this week. I love it. I love the culture, the climate, uh, the diversity. It is such a great place. So the previous ones, you might remember like this super dark red, which I think was a connection to their Cuban fans because that's the Cuban baseball, the national baseball team in Cuba. That's their colors. So now they've kind of tried to Miami it up a little bit. And I'm going to give them about a B, maybe a B minus. And the reason I'm not crazy about these, they're a little dark. I see, the flashes of color, which Miami to me is a very colorful place. I would have liked to have seen maybe not black as the primary color, but I do like it a lot better than the ones that they had before. All right, who's up next? DC, the Nats. Okay, the former uniforms, think of the cherry blossoms across the front. I did not like that at all. I love DC. I went to school there. I do love the city and I do love the cherry blossoms in April. Just don't think they fit very well in a baseball uniform. So my initial reaction to these, boring. D is the letter grade. Really, I mean, they they gotta do better. I know DC, let's be real. If you know anything about DC, it is, of course, a great place. If you've never been, you have to go. There's so much to do, but as a city, it is kind of boring. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on outside of what we typically think of the nation's capital. It's not a flashy place. So these uniforms are in line with that, but I'm not really crazy about them. All right, so who else do we have on our list? Let's see. I've gone through the Rockies. Um, oh, here's one for you. The White Sox. Hmm. This look familiar? It does, right? Looks like the Chicago Bulls are back. What are your thoughts on these? My initial reaction, love it. I think it's great. I will give them an A. Got to give the White Sox credit because, hey, when your team stinks like the White Sox, hey, why not lean on a winner from your city? And the Bulls, they won a few, what, six championships over their lifetime? Hasn't been a while, but they've got them. Why not go back to this? You know, this is going to be a top seller, not only in Chicago, but around the country as well. People still love Michael Jordan. My gosh, you still see his gear everywhere. This is going to be a winner for the White Sox. They win zero games or close to it, but they're going to be hitting home run on their City Connect uniform. So again, they're picking a champion in their own city to lean on. By the way, I don't see them bringing forth the Chicago Bears style, right? Bears are awful. All right, no inspiration there. So I give them definitely a solid A on that. So it's interesting to take a peek at some of these. City Connect uniforms. So we've covered the Astros and the Nationals, the Giants, the Rockies, the White Sox, and the Marlins. So there's a couple more that'll come out in the next few weeks. One of those, the D-backs, here not too far from me, and the other one, the Red Sox. I'm really looking forward to the Red Sox because this is the current one. Disaster. I mean, it's awful. They look like they should be playing for the Savannah Bananas, who I love, by the way. But these guys, this looks ridiculous. I mean, could you imagine Ted Williams, what his thoughts would be on these uniforms? I would imagine if we had the opportunity to talk to Ted, the late great Ted Williams, he probably would be uttering comments that would not be fit for our channel here. And I would probably be in agreement with him. What are your thoughts on City Connect uniforms? Oh, by the way, I'm wearing the Padres City Connect right here. This is my son's, uh, but I do think it's okay. I mean, I've lived in San Diego. I'm from Orange County. It's got a beach and a flavor of Mexico as well, because of course San Diego's right on the border of Mexico. I like what they did. My only critique of these uniforms for the Pods, just a little too light in color. We'd like to have seen a little darker somewhere, maybe a darker green. Well, it's over here, and yeah, I think this is the B. It's a B, but maybe the Padres will do a little revamping as well. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe, share. Really want to know your thoughts on the City Connect uniforms. Think they're here to stay, which is okay. And as always, for the love of the game, I'm Dr. Larry.